Hello, my name's Andy, I'm the Ginger Gamer. Welcome to episode 23. Right, so my small diversion into the world of Quake is over, at least for the immediate future, and I'm back to the world of dinosaurs. I've started on my next Prehistoric Kingdom park, and there'll be developments to show over the next couple of weeks. However, this episode is about a different dinosaur game entirely. Last week, as I'm sure you know, an announcement trailer for a hitherto unknown Jurassic Park game was released. Jurassic Park Survivor was its name, and although I'm a little late to the party, at least in YouTube terms, I thought I'd share my thoughts as we watched the trailer together.
I own an island off the coast of Costa Rica. Really spectacular, spared no expense. For this place, I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion.
So the trailer's intro is pretty atmospheric and nostalgic. It takes you by the hand back to not only Isla Nublar, but also the storm that, with Dennis Nedry's duplicity and the many flaws inherent in the park, contributed to the disaster that gave us some of the most memorable moments in Jurassic Park.
Something that was real.
It cleverly doesn't just recreate the scenes as we last saw them, but adds to them with different dinosaurs and nice touches like Grant's hat. It labels it as pre-rendered footage. My question would be whether it's using the same engine and assets, just with greater complexity, effects, etc., or whether it's something entirely different. Time will tell. The alpha footage at the end gives us some clues, however.
Can anyone hear me? This is Dr. Maya Joshi. I've been left behind on Isla Nublar.
Our protagonist is introduced after 30 seconds or so, and she begins by moving through a couple of iconic places and giving us an indication of her character, and by extension ours when we get to play the game. She presents as someone obviously thrust into something way out of her usual role. I don't think this is somebody from Muldoon's team, for example, and as such is appropriately scared, but she also appears to be resourceful, athletic and tough, which she'll need to be, I guess.
Is anyone there?
Even during this introduction to Maya, the developers still add some lovely touches. The open doors in the kitchen, foreshadowing some raptor-related havoc later on, and the fallen trees she jumps over. We're firmly back on Nublar, and in the first movie timeline, something we can be suitably pleased about. Then, after some more shoutbacks, the Dilophosaurus and the iconic gates, the main pre-rendered footage ends with a brief confrontation with the T-Rex and the inevitable use of a flare. We then have a brief glimpse of some alpha in-game footage. The first takeaway I had is that in terms of feel, design, colours, lighting scheme, if not complexity, it's very similar to the pre-rendered footage. Next is about the gameplay itself, as little as we saw. My first thought was that it's first person, as third person Tomb Raider might have been a way to go. My second was, Are these QuickTime events? Are these scripted moments? How open world is this? Which is actually 3 thoughts, but you get my point. Anyway, one final creepy raptor indicating door opening and the trailer is done. It's fair to say that the trailer and games had quite a reaction online, the most repeated quote being that it's the game people have been waiting for decades for, although understandably there's caution too. As gamers, we've been disappointed by promising looking games, especially those based on beloved films or older game franchises. For every Alien Isolation or Hogwarts Legacy, there's a plethora of games like Alien Colonial Marines, Alone in the Dark reboots, or if you're old enough to remember, Superman 64. Looking at Saber Interactive's back catalogue gives us some confidence. Although their Evil Dead game has a mixed rating on Steam, both their other 2 film adaptations, World War Z and Ghostbusters, the remaster at least, have very positive ratings. However, as we've seen with Hogwarts Legacy and gamers' unjustified concerns over Avalanche Software's ability to do the Potter universe justice, past performance is no real indicator of future success. Anyway, my views and questions after watching the trailer for 750 times, maybe 753. Firstly, I would probably prefer it to be third person, especially if there's a lot of jumping, sliding, climbing, Tomb Raider-y stuff. I think there's not many games, maybe only one, that have ever got that right in first person. Secondly, I'm guessing that if this is canon, there's quite a few dinosaurs that can't be killed, which would mean there won't be much in the way of guns, which would somewhat indicate a more cerebral stealth approach, like Alien Isolation, which would be great if they could pull it off. The only worry would be that making that work on a space station with one AI-heavy alien would be much easier than with a more open-ish world and many predatory dinosaurs. Thirdly, as I mentioned, how scripted will the action be? How much will QuickTime events be used? I don't hate QuickTime events. The Walking Dead Traveller's Tale games were excellent, but as their Jurassic Park game showed, it doesn't always translate well to other genres, and when overused can be off-putting. This is somewhat unfair of me, I guess, as we don't know exactly if they're used at all. I'm hoping sparingly or not at all. Fourthly, I'm quite interested in what game engine they're using. World War Z used their own Swarm engine, but that had specific needs, e.g. swarms of zombies. Their Evil Dead games instead used Unreal 4, which doesn't really give us clues. Let me know if you know. Finally, it does all look really positive. In my opinion, the only good games based on Jurassic Park have been the Evolution Park building games, and I speak as someone old enough to have played the Mega Drive games back in the day. For some reason, they've never managed to make it work, and Universal have appeared reluctant over time to let developers try. However, by and large that was almost the case with Alien games until Isolation, so I'll look forward to what Saber finally give us with some optimism, although it must be said it will be tempered with a degree of caution. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that little look at the trailer. I'm pretty sure you've probably looked at it quite a few times yourself and have seen other people's take on it as well. Please let me know what you think of mine. Obviously, we're really guessing. We had some excellent pre-rendered footage and some interesting alpha footage of the gameplay, but we know very little. Also, there's no real indication of when this game might come out. It hasn't, for instance, got a page on Steam yet, so I'm guessing it's quite a way off. Anyway, that's it. I will be back with some Prehistoric Kingdom content in the near future. If you've liked this, please like, please subscribe, please share, all that stuff. And I will see you next time.